What's going on YouTube? Indiana James here. We're going to talk about a few things today. First thing is stat squish. So apparently on the beta, um, LFR example is a jailer on live. It takes 15 seconds to kill. On beta, it's up to 1 minute 44 seconds. Apparently, jailer is 5.5 million health, and this person has 130k. I think that's not right. I think that I think Blizzard needs to go back to their legacy content and make sure that everything that was one shot before is one shot now. That's my opinion. If any of you like to doing legacy content, make sure you go to the beta, see which bosses you can do, and go to the WoW beta forums and tell Blizzard about that so it doesn't ruin your legacy raid situation. Okay, come here and post if you want. Looking at the general forums, not much going on. It's just add-on, complaining. Um, Housing customization. Um, I don't know why that person wants their characters to live in filth. I don't know. All right, so next thing is we're going to talk about the WoW Heroic 694 item level manaforge cache. All this is an event. Um, is You complete 4 dungeons on Mythic difficulty, including Mythic 0, and you get an extra cache of Koreshi treasures, which apparently is a 684 item level item. Great for those who need it. I personally don't care. I'm not a gear treadmill guy. I'll go on there to see. I'll go do LFR whatever to see the content, see the boss, see what he does, or see the story, and I'll run it maybe once or twice. I'll run a few delves to get me a couple of vaults unlocks, and that's it. I think I'm sitting at 3 or 688 right now, and I don't mind. It doesn't bother me, man. All right, next thing is the beta. This is funny. The beta lag you guys are experiencing, apparently it's caused by a new NPC behavior. When people walk into the water, the fish swim away from you. Okay. And, sorry, I have to stretch. That apparently causes lag. They're going to do some science today and maybe scale things a little differently. Um, Great. Next thing is optimal rotation. Sorry, my gosh. This. Ian has a Costas. Ian Coaster. That's what I'm going to call you from now on. He posted this to the WoW UI Dev Discord. So basically, they would not be able to provide a competitive advantage in combat. That's great. I understand where they're coming from. Players should never feel like they are a complete competitive disadvantage if they choose not to use an add-on. I do feel like I'm at a disadvantage if I don't use add-ons to do content that I want to do and I don't, and then other people are. I feel like I'm not doing it right. Blizzard wants to get away from that. They want to prevent, you know, they want to make encounter decisions for the player, making encounter decisions for the player. They want add-ons to press common information to make decisions for players. Then add-ons can process combat information. It means that players have no longer need to make these decisions themselves. We're not going to make these decisions anyway. Blizzard, you need to remember, Burning Crusade, we didn't make those decisions. The raid leader and us, we watched the video a lot of times together. We realized what steps are needed. All a boss is a freaking script. That's all it is, with just a bunch of abilities to do in a certain order. A lot of times they happen in a certain order, or they only happen in a certain phase. And based on those abilities that the boss is doing, we don't know what to do. Okay? There was the boss, a negative and positive charge boss in Naxxramas. Deadly boss mods, when the ability was cast, he made half the raid group positive, half the negative. All the positives Deadly boss mods put above your head was a blue plus, and all the negatives, it was a red minus above your head. And all you had to do was split and stay away from each other. Okay? Even if you took away everything for us to be able to do like that, your Blizzard still, you're going to tell us that we're a positive or a negative in some way. And we're still going to have designated areas for us to go to. For example, the raid leader will put down the little blue square and the little red diamond or the purple, whatever it is, right? The red and the blue. And he's going to tell the raid group, if you're a positive, go left and stand under the blue thing. And if you're a negative, go right and stand under the red thing. And Addon won't tell us to do that anymore. Our raid leader will, and we will know because we watched the fight. That's it. It's the only difference you're making here. I'm sorry, but that's it. We're not going. I am not going to purposely go and stand in front of everybody. Ooh, I'm a positive. I'm going to go stand with all the negative people. I'm going to go stand over there with the negative people because I want to be a negative Nancy too, and I didn't get to be my negative Nancy, so I'm going to plus my. I'm going to make their minus a +1, and I'm just going to blow up. And it's not going to happen. Okay. Creating optimal rotation helpers. The game goes for add-ons that allows players to track cooldowns. Fine. How do they spec it? Baseline level or helping them remember a cooldown is ready. That they support that. However, create a simple rotation helper and use to truly optimal action at any given time. This is a problem. Okay, I'm not saying it's a problem for us. We're going to find out the truly optimal action because every single website tells us what the hell our our rotation is, and it should be telling you here's all your add-on, here's all your buttons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 10 or whatever it is, and this is the correct way to do them. But if you get to number 6 and this thing happens above, okay, it's going to have a little thing saying below. Do not press the next button in the rotation. Skip to number 10, and push that instead, because that is more optimal at that point than pressing number 6. And once you press 10, hit 7, 8, 9, and then hit 6 at the end, because that's a filler. We're going to know how to do that whether or not add-ons tell us or not. I research all of my own abilities online only. I don't use in-game parses or any other crap like that. I learn my specs from online. I'll go to a training dummy into a city, and I'll shoot the training dummy because I'm a hunter, which is easy to play anyway. But I will shoot the training dummy and I'll do my rotation correctly. I don't look at meters. I don't look and see what I'm at. I don't look and see this. I just start to muscle memory my own abilities. That's how I play. I muscle memory everything, and then when I know when something pops up, like I forgot what it's called now. An ability pops up and it has a little circle around it on my buttons. I know that that's the and it is a certain ability. I'm not saying all of them work this way, but a certain ability. I know now that if that pops up around that specific ability, I need to do that over continuing my rotation with this or that and the other. We're still going to learn. Doesn't matter. Now, I don't think that that gives me an unfair advantage for everybody else. Okay, I don't think that gives me an unfair advantage doing it that way. Do I think so? In that aspect, I think add-ons should be able to do that. I think an add-on should tell you your rotation and all that. But you can learn that online, Blizzard. It's not going to stop us from learning the truly optimal action. Other people are going to be able to parse their tunes. You're not going to stop them from doing that, you know. And if you completely cut that out, all people are going to go online, and you can quote me here. They're going to have a website where you put in every single DPS button with all the numbers on those buttons, how much DPS you do, yada yada, and they are going to that website is going to be able to go through all of that, do all the math for you, and say, here's your rotation, here's what to do if this happens, here's what to do if this happens, and here's what to do if this happens, based on your rotation. You're not going to stop anybody from having a truly optimal action. Now, So allowing a specific enemy spellcast the primary ones immediately. Now I agree with that. Again, it's like the plus minus thing I used before. I don't think an add-on should be putting a plus above my head and a minus above Joe Blow's head and telling us to go left or right away from each other. I don't think that's something that should be happening. But I do think that while it isn't needed and we don't need that, we're still going to not make those things. We're still going to be able to do that same thing with the plus and minus, for example. It's just going to be a different way. A radiator is going to call it out, or the person of a certain group, if you're in a 25 man group, 1 and 2 and 1, 3 and 5, you're going to this person in each group are going to be able to are in turn going to call themselves out, call out their group. Group 3, run to the left. Group, you know, 4, run to the right. Group 6, run to the left, and so on and so forth. And each person is going to be able to call out that out for their group. So, but yeah, does it make it a little bit tedious? Yes, it does. But it does help, and it does help some social stuff with that. Alpha's been a whirlwind for our community team, feeling ongoing work to do that on restrictions. Um, Sometimes the feedback's vital. I don't think that I don't think add-ons are necessarily needed, not in the capacity that they're being used now. Um, but again, a certain amount of those things are not going to be able to keep us from doing it. They're not going to be able to keep us from making an optimal rotation. I learned that just by looking at websites, so take it for what you will. So that's add-ons. Tell me if you agree with those or not. I don't combat add-ons. I don't see a problem them removing. I'm only sad for the people that use things like a bartender that have nothing to do with combat and they're broke. I think that's sad. I really do. Nameplates, being able to customize a nameplate, put different colors on it, do change the font, for example. I think that's sad. I don't think they should remove that type of customization from things that have nothing to do with combat. Um, I really don't. Now, if an add-on has to use combat data for doing those things, I absolutely don't care about it being removed because you're using combat data. Sorry, figure out a way to do it without doing that. Right. Next thing is endeavors, neighborhood-wide activity being available testing. Um, so how to pick an endeavor. Public neighborhoods will be having the endeavor assigned. Private will be neighborhood manager. I'm going to be a neighborhood manager. Woohoo! If you like doing that sort of thing, I do. Neighborhood manager is fine. Complete tasks to collect community coupons. Coupons. Look, we're going to be coupon people like there's people on TV. Um, and you can purchase Steam decor. Um, so new Endeavor Trader, spend your coupons. Um, so you can. Oh yeah, it's be bonus rewarded to your account for some extra housing XP coupons. That hasn't been implemented yet. Um, you can spend your community coupons at any Endeavor Trader. So if another community has um, a different Endeavor open, you can go there. Theoretically speaking, at the moment, you should be able to go there and buy the Endeavor stuff off that vendor that your own community doesn't have or doesn't have it unlocked. Okay, so tasks will take you to zones in Azeroth and beyond. The generic tasks and all of Endeavors and many themed ones. Theme zones will be more difficult. They reward community coupons, gold, XP, and housing XP. Now, here's the cool part. Crests at mass level. Does that mean like gear crests? I don't know. Does that mean gear crests? If it's gear crests, I can see people being more apt and open to doing endeavors. That's cool. Um, Completing a task while in the neighborhood can prevent your extra progress toward the endeavor, unlocking the milestones faster. Now, repeatable are the circular icon with the arrow. That's that. I guess that means repeatable. Additional decor is available from neighborhood vendors, and more new decor will be added throughout the beta. Cool. Uniter Fight. This is so that was Endeavors. Uniter Fight Horde vs Alliance varsity jackets. Now these are cool. I think they look freaking awesome. Uh, rep your faction. Horde varsity jacket. Mm, let's see. Going on down. I like the Alliance one. I think it's cool. I that should have been blue though, not black. I think it's sad that it's black. I really do. Unless I'm wrong. So how much are these cool jackets? Let's go look. All right. I think they're gonna be. Yep. Yep. So yeah. I'm fat, so I'll need that one. 175. Okay, it is blue. It's not black. It's just a photo. Um, I actually, one friend of mine was actually gonna buy me one of these, and I told them not to because I'm not. I'm not a faction guy. I don't do the whole Horde versus Alliance thing. My my Pandaren doesn't give a shit about the Horde or the Alliance. He would much rather go off on his own, have his home, have his farm, do his own thing, and not be bothered with the whole argument of I'm better than you are, Horde or Alliance. He doesn't give a shit. I He would be a neutral faction if possible. Like he really would. And I don't no one's gonna tell me that he wouldn't. I think he would. Last but not least is this little apparently the Blizzard soundtrack is going to be nominated at the 16th annual Hollywood Music and Media Awards. I mean, if you even care, which I don't, I'm not too much of a music fan. Back to the community forums. All I read is general. Sadly, the server forums that I read, especially mine, are dead. Like my server's Cenarian Circle is dead. The forums nobody talks on it. Um, yeah, come here, look around. If you like the video, let me know. Again, answer my questions if you can, like about the rotation add-on thing. I think that add-ons are needed up to a point, and I think that customization is needed up to a point, and I think that Blizzard has gone a little bit over what I would like them to see. But yeah, just let me know. And if anybody wants to play with us, let me know. I'm on Cenarian Circle. Thank you all for watching this morning.